Thanks for coming out tonight, y'all. It's really good to see everybody. Sitting there talking on the hood of your car, an open bag of chips, eating salsa from a jar on a misty kind of night that obscures the stars, or are they hiding? You tell me that you built this house on sinking sand. It wasn't to code and you knew it wouldn't stand. You lied to yourself, you lied to her then, or you're lying now. I said, Carey, get out your maps. Can you tell me where you're headed to? Are you driving home to get some sleep, or are you headed down to Lima, Peru? Carey, get out your maps. Can you tell me what you're aiming for? Is it Jesus, Jack, or geography? Can you tell me what you're living for? It was good to see the kids again, to smell their hair and to hold their hands. But their mom, she found another man. Does that bother you? But you know, you've been seeing someone too. You met her online, she's from Peru, and she even came to visit you. She's gone home now. I said, Carey, get out your maps. Can you tell me where you're headed to? Are you driving home to get some sleep, or are you headed down to Lima, Peru? Carey, get out your maps. Can you tell me what you're aiming for? Is it Jesus, Jack, or geography? Can you tell me what you're living for? Try to get your bearings now. You're west from east and you're north from south, and all the fear that's in your mouth, still feeling lost. Just chart a course the way you do with your latitude and your longitude, and maybe you'll end up in Peru, anywhere but here. I said, Carey, get out your maps. Can you tell me where you're headed to? Are you driving home to get some sleep, or are you headed down to Lima, Peru? Carey, get out your maps. Can you tell me what you're aiming for? Is it Jesus, Jack, or geography? Can you tell me what you're living for? Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Thanks. Willie was playing in Austin. Trigger had a mishap there. The bridge was coming up from the holy top, and Willie's tearing out his hair. Roland got a phone call at midnight. He said, we need a doctor's staff. And Roland put Trigger back together again as the sun was coming back. Save the sixth string, save your soul, in the wood, in the blood, in the bone. It's the same thing, don't you know, don't you know? Jerry Jeff Walker was a drinker. I never knew what he was fighting for. He smashed his beautiful Gibson guitar on an ugly barroom floor. Roland came to pick up the pieces to heal the hurt with his working hands. Oh, he brought it home, but couple decades on, I heard Mr. Bojangles again. Save the sixth string, save your soul in the wood, in the blood, in the bone. It's the same thing, don't you know? Don't you know? Under the bed in the spare room, my grandpa had a parlor guitar. By the time it came to me on a plane, I could tell it had traveled far. Roland took it into his workshop. He polished up the mother of pearl. And the souls of Willie's and Jerry's guitars came floating into my world. Save the sixth string, save your soul in the wood, in the blood, in the bone. It's the same thing, don't you know? Don't you know? Save the sixth string, save your soul in the wood, in the blood, in the bone. It's the same thing, don't you know? Don't you know? Thanks, everybody. It's good to be here. It's good to see you all here, and I'm happy you came out this evening. There's some stuff going on right now, in case you haven't noticed. And some of these songs are about that stuff. From different angles. Some of it has more hope than others, but this is a song I wrote the first round of that stuff about 4 years ago. Let's say about 8 years ago. This one here is called Sins and Sadness. Time keeps a-wasting my spirit away, and time keeps on tasting just like yesterday. Cynicism, cyanide, they live in the same house. One will kill you slowly, and the other kills you now. But take my sins and sadness, spill them on the floor. Drop my glass into the trash, I can't drink them anymore. Gather me up into your arms, take me to the laundry line. Feed my worries to the wind and hang me out to dry. Oh, hang me out to dry, hang me out to dry. Wars and their rumors, hellfire on the way. If we keep spinning backwards, there's gonna be hell to pay. When you turn on the radio, feels like losing your mind, 'cause we lost another battle, and again our hands are tied. But take my sins and sadness, spill them on the floor. Drop my glass into the trash, I can't drink them anymore. Gather me up into your arms, take me to the laundry line. Feed my worries to the wind and hang me out to dry. Oh, hang me out to dry, hang me out to dry. Hang me out to dry. Dry. out to dry. Sunday morning coming down, I wish that I was stoned, 'cause even on a Sunday it's getting harder to find any hope. I feel like I'm stuck in stasis, like I'm frozen in these boots. So I'll keep on crying, honey, so I can shake these blues. Oh, take my sins and sadness, spill them on the floor. Drop my glass into the trash, I can't drink them anymore. Gather me up into your arms, take me to the laundry line, freed my worries to the wind, and hang me out to dry. 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 Dry. Thanks, everybody. So, I've been thinking about space. I'm always thinking about space, I guess. And thinking about the trajectory of humanity going into space. And, you know, there's that guy who's going into space a lot these days. He's responsible for some of that stuff I talked about earlier. But then we can go way back to 1957 and talk about the Soviets doing some of that. More stuff back then, too. But I was thinking about that little satellite, Sputnik. Since it was an unmanned satellite, they didn't really have plans to get it back down to Earth safely, right? Like, you know, you send the thing up, it does what it does, and then you're like, well, we're done with that. And I thought, that's like, I would be a little bitter, you know? If I were Sputnik, if I were that little satellite, I'd be like, upset about that. So this is a song for that little satellite. This is called Sputnik. What goes up doesn't always come down. Sometimes you burn up before you hit the ground, and other times you just keep floating around. What goes up doesn't always come down. They said I was a rising star, the pride and joy of the USSR. On the 4th of October I was ready to go, but they never spoke a word about me coming home. They just said, what goes up doesn't always come down. Sometimes you burn up before you hit the ground, and other times you just keep floating around. What goes up doesn't always come down. He gave me a pat on my fuselage, wishing me удачи and до свидания. With the roar of the rockets it wasn't long, for I circled the earth sending my song. Hey look ma, I can see China. Hey look ma, I can see Spain. I can see all these people worrying about the future. You can be sure that I'm worried about the same. Because what goes up doesn't always come down. Sometimes you burn up before you hit the ground, and other times you just keep floating around. What goes up doesn't always come down. What goes up doesn't always come down. Sometimes we burn up before we hit the ground, and other times we just keep floating around. What goes up doesn't always come down. Thank you. Rest in peace, Sputnik. So there's this thing called confirmation bias. When you see exactly what you need to see because you're looking for it. And I think that happens a lot with horoscopes. If you ever looked at that, you're like, huh, that's kind of true. But then you kind of ignore the 50% that's not true. I think the same is also true for fortune cookies. So I was in like a work transition period and I opened a fortune cookie and it said, go confidently in the direction of your dreams. And I'm like, huh, it knew. So. This is called fortune cookie. I rustled up some supper on a lost and lonely night. A greasy bag of takeout, a carton full of rice, and in the bottom of the bag was a cookie with a clue, a little slip of paper to tell me what to do. I wrestled with the cellophane for a minute, maybe two. Seems like every scrap of wisdom, there's some work you have to do. And right inside the key to life was printed crisp and blue on a little slip of paper. It told me what to do. There's a little slip of paper that tells me what to do, with lucky numbers on the back and language lesson 2. There's a fine line between nonsense and universal truth. There's a little slip of paper that tells me what to do. So I packed my bags and hugged and said goodbye to all my friends. Leftovers left on the counter, brought a little cash to spend. And then I said I'd walk in to where I had no clue, 'cause a little slip of paper had told me what to do. There's a little slip of paper that tells me what to do, with lucky numbers on the back and a language lesson 2. There's a fine line between nonsense and universal truth. There's a little slip of paper that tells me what to do. Well, that fantasy back in verse 3 was just a little lie. I'm still standing in the kitchen with a carton of cold rice, drum my fingers on the counter, and I try to find the tune. Could a little slip of paper really tell me what to do? We're all looking for advice in every corner of our lives, from poetry to horoscopes to the moon and stars at night. If I stay open to the little things, and something might ring true, a little slip of paper could help me know just what to do. There's a little slip of paper that tells me what to do, with lucky numbers on the back and a language lesson 2. There's a fine line between nonsense and universal truth. There's a little slip of paper, a little slip of paper. There's a little slip of paper that tells me what to do. So I don't know if you know this, but there are 4 banjos in the building right now. Yeah, there are 4. There are 2 back there, 1 here, and then Trent decided that 4 on stage was too much, so. Bask in the glory, folks, of the banjo. I also recently acquired an accordion on loan from a friend of mine. So there are lots of jokes here. One of my colleagues was like, "What do you call perfect pitch?" I have to tell the joke, and I can tell the joke. You can't tell the joke if you don't play banjo. Just saying. What do you call perfect pitch? It's the sound of a banjo hitting an accordion in a dumpster. Don't laugh. Don't laugh. You're not supposed to laugh. So since this is a local show, local audience, we're getting a little bit of feedback there, Jeff. Is that maybe, it might be the banjo. The banjo wasn't happy with that joke. We good? Cool. And while we're here, let's thank you to Jeff Campbell running sound. Half the time, you know the hallmark of a good sound person if you don't have reason to notice them, because it sounds so good. And Jeff is doing a great job dialing things in tonight, so thank you, Jeff. He's a member of a band called Colebrook Road, if I'm not mistaken, if you've heard of them. Anyway, I digress. So since this is a local show, local folks will know of Rife Snyder's Pianos. Used to be on Dillerville Road across from the Wendy's there. There's an Ethiopian restaurant near there that's really good. But it wasn't, Rife Snyder's left. And does anybody remember what it turned into after that for a brief time? It was a gun shop, yeah. So this was during the last round of stuff that I alluded to earlier. And so to me, a piano store turning into a gun shop was just like, really? This is like the culmination of all of the things, right? These instruments creating beautiful music and bringing people together, transformed into this place that sells things that are made to destroy things, right? So I had to write a song about that. And so this is called Good Things. It's about the pianos and the guns and the dishes piling up in your sink. Sunday at 10 a.m. Sit down in a pew, white shirts and floral print. Sing a song to bind us all together as the world just falls apart. Take heart, my love, take heart. But I feel like giving up. Every other day there's nothing to fill my cup. No words left to say that I'm scared or angry, 'cause I've sang them all before, and tragedy becomes a bore. It's hard to believe in the good things when the gun shop moves in and the piano store leaves. It's hard to believe in the good things with a kitchen that never stays clean, but I've got you to lean on. I've got you to lean on. I've got you to lean on. Oh, it's planting time. So another row, I'll try not to lose my mind. Even though I know these fields are fallow and it ain't rained in so damn long, maybe there's water in this song. 'Cause it's hard to believe in the good things when the gun shop moves in and the piano store leaves. It's hard to believe in the good things with a kitchen that never stays clean, but I've got you to lean on. I've got you to lean on. I've got you to lean on. To lean on. Maybe you'll sing with me on this part. Ooh, it's that simple. Keep it going. It's hard to believe in the good things when the gun shop moves in and the piano store leaves. It's hard to believe in the good things with a kitchen that never stays clean. But I've got you to lean on. I've got you to lean on. I've got you to lean on. To lean on. Ooh. Ooh. Thank you. So I used to work at the Lancaster County Conservation District, the Soil and Water Conservation District. And so I thought, thank you. I did grant stuff there. And so I've thought a lot about water and what contributes to clean water, what gets into our water, how do we keep our water clean? And everybody needs water to drink, clean water to drink. And so I wrote this song about the Susquehanna River. Probably one of many to come. It's just such a charismatic body of water. Every time my spouse and I drive across it, we feel obligated to say, the mighty Susquehanna. Can you say that with me? The mighty Susquehanna. Yeah, just every time we cross it, it just feels right. It's almost like a prayer, right? It's just like, thank you for the water. So yeah, this is called Susquehanna. They cut down all the trees, it weren't that long ago. So when the naked hillside started to let go, and all that fertile soil ran right down into me, muddy water to the sea. Put up walls to keep out foreigners and foes. And in my body walls control the water's flow. And those same walls that keep out foreigners and foes keep the shad from coming home. I'm a river, I keep running to the sea. I'm a river, are you running after me? My sister in Ohio used to catch on fire. Now she's doing better, but she still ain't alright. 'Cause she can feel the factories crumbling on her shores. People crying out for more. I'm a river, I'll keep running to the sea. I'm a river, are you running after me? I'm a river, I'll keep running to the sea. I'm a river, are you running after me? There's a new day coming, I think it's coming soon, when all this concrete, steel, and glass will be consumed. Green reclaims the buildings, trees grow tall again. I'll keep running until then. You can sing along if you get it. I'm a river, I keep running to the sea. I'm a river, are you running after me? I'm a river, are you running after me? I'm a river, I keep running to the sea. I'm a river, are you running after me? Got a few more here for you. And make sure you stick around for Trent Wagler. Not that you go anywhere, but was so glad to hear that Trent was doing some solo stuff. And I said, hey, why don't you come to Lancaster? And so he came. And then I found $5. Yeah, I was lucky. I'm going to do another river song here. Love water, love rivers. So if you've ever been to Valencia, you might know what river I'm talking about. If you take a look at a map of Valencia, on Google Maps, you know, you have those gray parts that are like concrete areas or areas where there's, built up landscape. And then there are these green areas, which usually are indicating forests or parks or things of that nature. So when I was doing some research prior to a trip in 2019, saw this green strip running the length of the city of Valencia, Spain. I'm like, what's going on here? So it turns out that there's a park that runs the length of the city. And the reason that there's a park there is because there used to be a river running straight through the center of Valencia. But it kept flooding and flooding year after year. So they decided to divert the water. And I don't know where the water went. I still need to do research on that piece. That's a concern, right? Working in conservation has made me think, well, the water had to go somewhere. Anyway, I digress. So they were left with this riverbed that's like a couple times the length of this building wide. And so they were like, well, what do we do with this? Someone said, let's make that a highway, and then we can have cars go through the city faster. And someone said, no. I have a better idea. Let's turn that into a park. So it's a park, and it's below street level, and it runs the length of much of Valencia. And it has soccer courts on it, and it has walking trails, and it has biking paths. And I just think it's such a beautiful vision for what we could do to reuse things. Like this old tobacco warehouse. Anyhow, this is called I Used to Be a River. Here we go. We rode into town. High-speed train caboose was towing clouds. We slept with hearts so full, and the rain sang as it filled the swimming pool. It said I used to be a river flowing through these city streets. Now I'm bright and green, feeding the birds and trees. Thank God I'm not a highway, rolling on and never sleep. I used to be a river. I used to be a river. We walked through the park, saw the lane last night, it left its mark. Memories stick around, and memories filled the puddles on the ground. They said I used to be a river flowing through these city streets. Now I'm bright and green. I'm home to the birds and trees. Thank God I'm not a highway rolling on and never sleep. I used to be a river. I used to be a river. Wake up and I'm thirsty as the sun, sleepy as the late November sky. I watch the water pour into my cup, thinking to myself I realize that I used to be a river flowing through some city street. Now I'm just me. I sing to the birds and trees. Thank God I'm not a highway. Maybe soon I'll get some sleep. I used to be a river. I used to be a river. Thank you. Got a couple more here for you. So I guess I could go through some of the housekeeping things. So I've got some merch back there, and that last song is on a CD. If you like CDs, you know, even if you don't listen to CDs in your normal day-to-day life, it's always nice to have a car CD, right? Many of our cars still have CD players. There will come a day when a majority of cars no longer have CD players, but it's always good to have a backup, right? If your phone dies and you're in the middle of nowhere, at least you'll still have that Andrew Paul's CD to turn on and give you some comfort, right? Along with the blanket that you packed because you were prepared, like me and my 9-volt battery, prepared. Important. Very. Yeah. So I've got CDs. I've also got some small vessels that you could put whatever you'd like in. You could put some of the spirits in them. My brother lives in Goshen, Indiana, and he makes pottery, and he made them for me. So check those out, or just come talk to me. I love to meet new people, and I live here. So if you want to hear what's going on as far as what I'm playing or new things I'm releasing, if you want to tell me, I want that song on another CD and it's not on a CD yet, I want to hear it. So come talk to me after the show. Love to meet new folks. And I think that's my housekeeping. Get that out of the way. So I'll play a couple more here and then let Trent take the stage here. So thinking about rivers, thinking about conservation, thinking about endangered species. So when I think about endangered species, extinct species, the passenger pigeon comes to mind, right? And the passenger pigeon went extinct in 1914. So one of the earlier animals, at least in our time, to go extinct. But that wasn't the case just, a century earlier. In fact, in the early 1800s, there were 3 billion with a B, passenger pigeons in North America. 3 billion. There are estimates that say that passenger pigeons made up 40% of the entire bird population of North America. And a century later, they're extinct. There are accounts that said that the skies would go dark whenever a flock would go over, that it would be like dusk in the middle of the day. But the very fact that there were so many in one place made them an easy target for hunters, right? You just get your shotgun, have a couple pulls, and hundreds would fall. Sort of just an easy catch for dinner or, just for fun. Some folks' sick idea of fun. So this guy, C.O. Whitman, in the early 1900s, was an esteemed zoologist, and he was determined to bring passenger pigeons back. They were dwindling at the turn of the 20th century, and he knew he had to bring them back, and he kept trying to breed them in captivity in the Cincinnati Zoo, but they kept dying and dying, and because passenger pigeons need to have these massive flocks in order to reproduce. So they had already crossed that tipping point. So C.O. Whitman confided in his wife Emily and was so distressed, and he eventually died before he even knew whether or not the species had gone extinct. He died before 1914. But this story made me think of all of the things that we think are so numerous in our lives, right? That we take for granted. And it's maybe a reminder to know that we shouldn't take anything for granted lest it end up like a passenger pigeon. Emily, I can't make sense of the evidence. Is it circumstance? Is it consequence? I can't believe that we are almost down to 10. There were billions. There were billions. When you've known how wild the world can be, that there are wonders your eyes will never see, it's not hard to feel a little less than free. 'Cause God's creatures don't do well in captivity. Emily, we'd point our guns almost anywhere, and the birds would fall just because the birds were there. We'd ship them out to grace the tables of millionaires. We didn't care, no, we didn't care. When you've known how wild the world can be, that there are wonders your eyes will never see, it's not hard to feel a little less than free. 'Cause God's creatures don't do well in captivity. When you've known how wild the world can be, that there are wonders your eyes will never see, it's not hard to feel a little less than free. We're just passengers passing through. All we do is all that we can do. We're just trying to save a little blue and green. 'Cause God's creatures don't do well in captivity. Emily, I can't make sense of the evidence. Is it circumstance? Is it consequence? I can't believe that we are down to less than 10. There were billions. There were billions. Thank you. Got one more here for you. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff going on. There's always been a lot of stuff going on, I guess. It just looks different and it ebbs and flows. But I was thinking a little bit about the Pledge of Allegiance the other day, and I went to public school up till 5th grade, but after that point I went to private school, and we didn't say the Pledge of Allegiance there. But I was reminded of this when I went to a city council meeting. And we said the Pledge of Allegiance, and I'm like, whoa, we're still doing this. Of course we're still doing this. But I was thinking, like, this doesn't feel like something that's genuine to me. And I mean no disrespect to anybody for that. I just want to recognize that I think we often forget about the difficult things in the past of the United States, and I have a hard time, saying that I'm okay with that. In fact, I am not okay with a lot of what's happened in American history. So I was trying to think through, like, what if I were to have a Pledge of Allegiance? What would I feel like I could pledge allegiance to? And so I decided to write this song, and this is that song. This is called The New Pledge of Allegiance. It's 8 o'clock, a sunny Monday morning. 20 hands placed over 20 little hearts. We face that flag above the dusty chalkboard, say the words without thinking what they are. We learned about the men with feather pens declaring independence, and freedom sounded pretty good to me. But what the textbooks couldn't sell us, what Schoolhouse Rock forgot to tell us, was the difference between reality and dreams. I pledge allegiance to a future where everybody's truly free. I pledge allegiance to the dream. It's 6 o'clock out under those bright floodlights. The announcer gets us all up on our feet. A girl in a red dress steps to the microphone, starts to sing, "Oh, say, can you see?" But I needed a new song to push us forward. Those time-worn words weren't ringing true for me. I want no rockets glare, no bombs in air. I need an anthem ripped to love and care. Oh, say, can I see you? Can you see me? I pledge allegiance to a future where everybody's truly free. I pledge allegiance to my neighbor, to my friends and enemies. I pledge allegiance to the dream. There are tears that cry the blue behind them 50 stars, and there is blood that bled the red stripes on the white. It's hard to say I love the country of this flag, but I know I have to find a way to try. So I pledge allegiance to a future where everybody's truly free. I pledge allegiance to my neighbor, to my friends and enemies. I pledge allegiance to a future where everybody's truly free. I pledge allegiance to my neighbor, to my friends and enemies. I pledge allegiance to the dream. Thank you, everybody. My name's Andrew Pauls. Stick around for Trent Wagler. Thanks again to Jeff Campbell running sound. Thanks again to Thistle Finch, everybody.